Goddamn.
Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Hello, everybody. What is going on? What is going on here today on your Monday evening following Monday Night Raw with Unscripted, man? This is episode 249. We are one away from 250 as we are pretty much this week only having to go over SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. This is pretty much just an all WWE episode. Nothing really to talk about. There's one thing from AEW Dynamite that I guess is worth talking about, dude. But other than that, not much at all. How you feeling? Less than, because 24 hours ago we were watching the fucking show. I think we still had like 3 matches left. How are you feeling? 24 hours removed from Double or Nothing.
Feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Just been chilling out, man. It was a good pay-per-view, good weekend, man. It was a good Monday, man. I got to watch Raw, obviously. That was good. And now I'm here. Best part of the day, man. So, overall, man, it's been good. And I've just been chilling out, man. Just been chilling out. Glad to be here. And gonna be a good week, man. Gonna be a good week. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing in the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So yeah, 24 hours, less than 24 hours removed from Double or Nothing, and yeah, I can honestly say I thought it was a very good show. Thought it was a very good show. I thought not too much that really irritated me on the show, other than Mercedes winning the women's Owen, but I can't even really say we couldn't have seen that coming. So I can't really be too mad about it, but yeah, man, I thought 24 hours removed, man. I think the show did very well. Very excited to see that. It seems as if Tony Khan, Tonya. It seems like Tony Khan has been. Seems like Tony Khan has been media trained.
Look at that.
All right,
Finally.
TK. All right, all right, bruh. Okay. My man was asked a question about how he feels about WWE intruding on his weekends, or and he gave a he gave a rather professional response to it. Very simple, very to the
Exactly.
point. Listen, Tony, if we're gonna lock in, we got to lock in now. You have to lock it now.
Hmm.
WWE is at a very weird point in time right now where they don't really have anything going on, and there's really there's a lot of I guess annoyed there's a lot of annoyed fans of their product with the way TKO handles things. Look, man, if you want to if you want to boss up once again like we did in 2021, you can do it, bro. You can do it.
Man.
All it takes is a little bit of locking in. No, but very classy response from Tony Khan. I will say, man, I love to see him being media trained. It's a very nice thing. We did get around to watching a little bit of Battleground and a little bit of Saturday night's main event. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we are on here after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted. Every Friday we are on here at 3 p.m. Central with the news. And for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW, we are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official post-show review. Now, if you guys did miss yesterday's version of the Double or Nothing review and Friday's version of the news, you guys can now watch both of those on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, like I said, join us right here live after the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW with the post-show reviews afterwards, and Friday at 3 p.m. Central for the news. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Links at the top of the description of this very video, where you can get this beautiful piece of Notorious Heels merchandise. Like I said, live, bonfire.com. Available right now as we speak on the merch shop. Again, link is at the top of the description of this very video. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. Well, man, I know you already told us how you're doing, but how else is it going? What else is going on? Well, we're 1 year away from the GTA 6 release.
You
Officially,
are.
we are
To the
officially
day.
to the day 1 year away from GTA 6.
I know, man. It's fucking crazy. I can't wait, dude. I'm pumped already, man. I've been pumped since the first trailer and second trailer, and looking in a year's time, I can't fucking wait, man. I'm so pumped for that goddamn game, and I can't wait for the stuff we're gonna do with the gaming stream before that game comes out, because
Ooh.
we think we have some stuff planned, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it, man. But like I said a little bit earlier, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? Excited for, what's coming next, man. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming up, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. But what about you, bro? How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Just chilling, man. Just chilling. Yeah, excited for the 1 year, down to 1 year away from the release date. Hopefully it does not get moved back again. I won't rule anything out at this point, but hopefully it does not. Hopefully we're on the course to the 1 year point, but excited for that, man. And yeah, like like Sir K said, we do have some cool stuff planned for GTA 5 before we get to GTA 6. So excited for that, and obviously you guys know what we do with the Notorious Seals Gaming. So very excited to bring some of that stuff to you guys as we get closer to the release date of 6. So yeah, man, just excited for all that. Excited to see what that brings, and Hey man, I'm excited. I'm excited, bro. Obviously, love both of the first trailers. Excited for the third. If there is going to be a third trailer, I would assume there would be. Um,
Oh yeah.
but um, hopefully there's not a fourth, because if there's a fourth, that probably means it got delayed again. But hopefully hopefully we're just at three. But no, man, I'm doing good. As Durante always asks, I am good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, my man Todd? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. After this episode of Monday Night Raw, we got here tonight. Like I said, obviously the double or nothing happening last week. Nothing really to talk about other than MJF officially joining the Hurt Syndicate. There was no foul play, I guess. But he ended up joining the group, so
Yeah.
that was pretty much that was pretty much about it. He quite literally just signed a contract, put the hat on, and then they were interrupted by fucking Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes. So kind of a buzz killer on what has been AEW's best story throughout the year so far, I would say. And it was interrupted by the Sons of Texas. Wonderful.
That fucking shitter ass fucking tag team. Hopefully they build up more tag teams, man, and actually instead of just building them up, them losing, and then we don't see them again. Hopefully they really start building up tag teams, man, like Tony Khan said he was gonna do.
Tony, again, with the way TKO
Lock
does
the fuck
things,
in.
they got a lot of disgruntled fans at the moment. So Tony, if you want to lock in, now is the time. You got to buckle up and lock the fuck in. Will he? Probably not, but he's got to do it.
No,
Um, so
I have no faith, but he should.
he should, yeah, he definitely should. What'd you think of Battleground? What'd you think of Battleground? Anything that stood out to you?
From what we saw, I thought it was pretty decent. Probably not their best show. I think the last one we peeked at was a little better.
Yeah,
But overall, man, it looked like a good show, man. There was some cool moments. Trick Williams, he won the TNA title, which is very interesting. They had a WWE guy win the TNA title. That is that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I didn't think they would ever do that, and they did do it. So I'm very curious to see where they're going from there because a certain guy made an appearance on the show, and he makes appearance tomorrow night on NXT. Um, my boy, Mike Santana, dude, he
bro,
had a little backstage thing. That shit was flames, dog. I love that shit. That man is beast as fuck. He's everything that WWE thinks Damian Priest is. He is that. Um, so I feel like he might be the one to take it from Trick, and that'll be dope as hell. I hope they do something like that, man. Other than that, they look like a pretty just good general NXT show. Miles Bourne got spotlight, which is really cool. I like him a lot. Obafemi beast out. And it seemed like a pretty decent show, man. But what about you?
I thought it was I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I thought the ending to go with um I thought the ending to go with Joe Hendry and Trick Williams was quite the decision, but I guess it would be a pretty historic ending. I don't think technically a
Mhm.
WWE contracted guy has ever been the TNA World Champion while signed with WWE. So I could see why they did that. I could see why they did that. I probably just would have went with something that had a little bit better of match quality. Um, Joe and Trick are good. Joe and Trick just need to be with guys that can lead. So
Exactly.
that's the only thing with them. Um, yeah, I mean, I like Miles Bourne a lot. I think he's really good. I think he has a lot of upside, and I thought what he did with Obafemi was great. I did enjoy that, and Stephanie Vacher and Jordan Grace seemed pretty good. Sol Ruka's amazing. A lot of upside there. And yeah, that was most of my takeaways. That was most of my takeaways from Battleground, man. So yeah, seemed like a pretty decent show. Like Sir K said, I do think the Stand and Deliver they just did Mania weekend was probably a little bit better. Um,
Hmm. I
but
would say.
yeah, but nonetheless, from what we saw, it was very good. Not to mention, I know I mentioned we watched the Obafemi and Miles Bourne match. I really like Miles Bourne, but man, is Obafemi a fucking star, bro, or what,
That man, that
dude,
man is such a goddamn beast, man. Oh,
bro?
he's gonna kill it when he goes to the main roster.
Man, I cannot wait to see this guy on the main roster. I just really, really hope that Triple H knocks it out of the park with him, man. Which, if Triple H really wants to with somebody, he can do it. If
You
you
do
look
it.
at Jacob Fatu, if he really wants to get you over, and if he really wants to just put the spotlight on you, he'll do it. You know what I mean? It's just there are certain people
Mhm.
that he just refuses to do it with, you know. So I really hope Obafemi doesn't fall under that category, man. um but like you said, we did see an appearance from Mike Santana. Santana is awesome. Santana is awesome.
He's a beast.
You hear this guy on the mic. His mic presence is phenomenal. His delivery, you said it, and I'll say it again because I know everybody wants me to say it. That man is everything WWE thinks Damian Priest is. The badass Puerto Rican New Yorker from the Bronx who's got street cred, legit street cred,
Legit.
and they think it's him. And it's really Mike Santana. Seeing Mike Santana there, seeing him, going to be seeing him tomorrow on NXT is going to be awesome. And I love just seeing that man's foot in the door because he went through so much bullshit in AEW. And we said for years that Proud and Powerful was the shit. And these guys should
They
be
were
the
the
tag
shit.
team champions. They never won the tag titles.
Nope, never.
Obviously,
They never won the tag titles.
obviously, things took a bit of a turn. One partner seemed to be a little complacent. The other one was hungry. The other one wanted more. That man being Mike Santana broke apart from the company, and he has fucking killed it ever since then. Um, you constantly see this guy all over the indies on TNA. He's doing his thing. He's phenomenal. Seeing him pop up in WWE was fucking awesome. It's a long time in the making. And again, people who are familiar with his work, especially people who are familiar with his work in AEW, um, feel for the guy because we know how talented he is and we know the amount of bullshit that he went through, whether it was with his ex-partner or the company. The guy's been put through a lot of bullshit, and it's so fucking awesome to see just a guy that was hungry finally getting what he deserves and finally popping up in WWE, man. Um awesome to see. And yeah, I can't wait to see more of him. And yeah, again, I'll say it again, man. He is everything WWE thinks Damian Priest is Mike Santana. And I man, I hope they pick him up. Which, if the track record says anything, they will probably skim TNA dry of
Oh,
every
yeah.
last bit of meat that is left on the bone. They will take it off and take it for their own. But yeah, awesome seeing Mike Santana. That was actually one of the highlights of the show. Just
It was.
seeing that man finally pop up in WWE, man. And yeah, I hope I hope they get on that for sure. So
Almost definitely. I really hope they do.
Todd says, shouldn't the Sons of Texas be the Von Erichs? You know, when you think of wrestlers from Texas, you probably would think of the Von
I,
Erichs. You probably would
oh,
think
yeah.
Stone Cold. But for me, when I think of wrestlers from Texas, the first two names that pop in my head are Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes. That
Like,
what
what? Like,
Not the Von Erichs. Again, not
no.
Austin. What other wrestlers are from Texas? I think Bobby Lashley is from Texas. Some of the Samoan dynasty is from Texas. None of those
Yeah.
guys, man. When
No.
I think
None of them.
Texas, I think Sammy and
Those
Dustin.
Sammy and Dustin. Oh, God.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right, man. So some would say you may be onto something. Tony Khan would probably say you're not. But
yeah,
hey,
Tony Khan.
yes, that is very true, Logan. A TNA guy probably will never win an NXT title. I highly
Oh
doubt
God, no,
WWE lets that happen.
never. At most, a tag team. At most, that's because the company doesn't care about tag team wrestling.
Or it's gonna be like one of their alumni guys in TNA, like the
Yeah.
Hardys or like Nick Nemeth or like one of those guys, somebody who's been in WWE before. But yeah, I highly doubt they would put like an NXT title on like a Joe Hendry or a Mike Santana. I highly doubt that for sure.
Oh, I swear.
Oh, the Sons of Texas is a group. Oh wow.
Oh, it's the whole
Oh, it's the
group,
Von
man.
Erichs. It's the Von Erich kids, Dustin and Sammy. We'll see,
They
Todd. You got
they
your
couldn't at
wish.
least mention.
The Von Erichs are in there. That
So that's why they're called the Sons of Texas. Okay, I would like you could have just they could have mentioned that in the build to this match, somewhat. I totally forgot that fact that they like do stuff together on Collision. I think it's Collision. Oh wait, no, it's
I
ROH.
was
Never
gonna
mind.
say I'm
Okay,
pretty sure they're strictly ROH. The
that's the
destination.
problem.
Yeah. Yep, the destination for minor league talent like Athena. Nice. Did you see that? Oh
Sitting
no,
at
you
home
showed me
watching.
the video. Yeah. Or you showed me the picture. Athena posted a picture of her sitting in front of the fucking TV watching Double or Nothing. You gotta be kidding me.
Fucking hell.
64 and 0 for a loss
Gone
on Dynamite.
for
And
nothing.
no rebuttal. No get
No,
back, no lick back, nothing. Nothing.
no type of revenge, nothing.
Um we talked a little bit about Saturday night's main event. Yeah, thought the show was another one of those just
That
rushed.
that happened.
Just yeah,
Mm-hmm.
quite literally just happened. Is it was Saturday night's main event. So that's
Good
that is
old,
yeah, it's pretty much that's what happened on Saturday night's main event. A bunch of commercials and a bunch of rushed matches. Again.
literally.
Okay. So, like I said, man, no AEW Dynamite to talk about here tonight. So, we're going to start you guys off with the Blue Brand Friday Night SmackDown. There was a couple things that happened on SmackDown this week. WWE has a backstage segment with Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, and Jacob Fatu, where Jacob tells Solo, "Why did you bring him? I don't like him, and I don't trust him." He asks Solo, "How can you expect me to treat him like family when he ain't my blood?" JC goes to get in his face, and Solo says, hey, calm down, man, calm down. So they effectively see, people were telling me, you need to wait, you need to be patient, because last week I was very critical of the first time of us seeing JC Mateo, because it almost gave me Judgment Day vibes. Like, what happens at WrestleMania is Finn gets pinned. So I'm thinking, you know what? He's going to come out steaming mad the next night on Monday Night Raw. Not mad at all. JC Mateo debuts. Fatu looks pretty pissed that, Solo went and got this guy behind his back. We get to SmackDown, and he's just standing next to him as if nothing happened. People told me to wait. Well, motherfucker, how do you feel now? They did it the very next week. So we did not have to wait for anything, because WWE effectively did some damage control on their fucking mistake as to why this guy is here and why Jacob Fatu would be upset with this guy being here. Again, like I said, makes no sense. You can try to wait things out as long as you can, but when there's no continuity and things don't make sense and when things drag, it sucks.
Most definitely, man. They waited that extra week for no reason.
No
It would have been
reason.
better and hotter if they would have just did it right there and then. The week of, boom, moment happens at the pay per view. Episode of TV after that pops off. It doesn't even have to pop off. It just has to do what they did on Friday. Is what they just should have did in the ring during that promo, and it was that simple, dude. WWE, they have a habit of waiting too much, and look at the Judgment Day. Look how stale that godforsaken group is. Because I mean, we're gonna talk about it later, but I guarantee next week on Raw, it's gonna be all fake smiles between each other again, like it is every week, even though they all hate each other. Um, so that's I'm glad they did it, with Jacob and JC. I'm glad they, got that done. But like, why'd you wait? It's pointless
Yeah.
to keep waiting for things.
Yeah, and again, man, why it's okay. So this was a backstage segment. Don't you think it would have been
Mhm.
more effective? And then you could have also played to the reaction from the crowd if you did it last week when they were all standing out in the ring. And again, I'm not even saying they all have to fucking, blow up the bloodline and turn on each other and start swinging fists. All he had to say was exactly what he said here. I don't like you and I
Yeah,
don't trust you. You're not my family. You're not my blood.
it was that simple.
You could have did that out in the ring. And again, it would have made a little bit of sense being that the Saturday before that, Jacob Fatu was mean mugging this guy as if he was ready to fucking take him out right there. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Very
No.
yeah, just very again, very odd move. They opted to wait and do the segment they should have done the Friday after. They waited 2 weeks and then decided to do it in a backstage segment. Again, don't understand, but it was done nonetheless. It was done,
Mhm.
and I like how it came off. It came off great. It
Yeah.
came off exactly how it should have. It came off as, JC is the enforcer and he's with Solo, and he got pissed off by what Jacob Fatu said to him, and he kind of went to step towards him, and then Solo kind of broke it up and eased the tension a little bit. It was great. It was great. I thought it was great. Just don't know why we had to wait an unnecessary week. Meanwhile, the week in between was the stupidest follow up to what you could have possibly done. Which, again,
Oh
for
yeah.
those who don't know, the follow up was just Fatu standing there and then just started hitting his catchphrases as if he,
Literally.
again, as if he's just cool with him being here now. Didn't make sense, but glad they got it done nonetheless.
Most definitely.
So, I think they're watching us, bro. Speaking of Fatu,
They gotta be,
man,
especially on
somebody's
Fridays,
seen this
bro.
short.
They really do. Especially, I know Triple H watches on Friday because fucking after every time we end the show on Friday,
Mm,
something drops, bro. They do something
dude, man, we
every
got this
fucking time.
news. We got this news on Friday. Pumped to go over it with you guys, man. Money in the Bank 2026. Where's it gonna be? Stay tuned for Friday. So, speaking of Jacob Fatu, after his match, it was him and JC Mateo. They were facing Jimmy Uso and Ray Phoenix.
3 hours of television.
Holy
This
fuck.
is what you get with 3 hours of television. That they're gonna keep at 3 hours even longer.
God. Man. Yeah, that is yikes. JC and Solo and Jacob are in the back and they're talking about the match. Nick Aldis comes up to Jacob Fatu and says, "Hey, next week we're going to have one more qualifying match for Money in the Bank. And I just came to let you know, Jacob, you're in." Solo kind of looked a little sideways at this because Solo was in the match. And if I'm a betting man, I will say Jacob gets in the match as well.
Mm-hmm.
That should be interesting. I'm very interested to see how that goes during the match. But yeah, next week Jacob Fatu, or this upcoming week in a couple of 5 days, Jacob will be in a qualifying match for Money in the Bank. So I think it's a cool dynamic. I think it's going to be a cool dynamic to have. It's very similar to how I guess you kind of have Julia and Roxanne in the same Money in the Bank ladder match, even though they're not a team anymore. You'll have that, I guess, sort of, I guess, just tension between the two. So you'll be getting that in the men's as well with Solo Sokoa and Jacob Fatu, and I think that'll be very cool for their feud because. I want to go ahead and say we'll probably see these guys face in the ring at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. But knowing Triple H, we probably do not be surprised if these two don't turn on each other until whenever WrestleMania heads to London in 2028.
Literally, I wouldn't be fucking shocked. They're finally gonna blow up on each other the night after Royal Rumble or something. So I wouldn't be shocked if shit like that happens. But I think Jacob's gonna be added to the match. That's gonna be super dope. Their dynamic is gonna be really cool to see during the match, and just Jacob in that Money in the Bank ladder match sounds fire to me. So I'm down for it.
Manager Logan, I regret to inform you, the Thunder have taken a 3-1 series lead on your Minnesota T-Wolves.
Damn,
Damn. Very
that's
shocking.
tough.
I thought that would at least go 6. Maybe it will go 6, but they've taken a 3-1 lead.
Fuck.
Maybe the T-Wolves will pull out one more win, but team is down pretty bad, bro. Team is down pretty bad, I will say. They'll be back though. You guys got a good team. Maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe you guys will be back
Maybe.
unless the whole team blows up and everybody decides to leave. Crazy stuff though. I just got the notification. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. So speaking of women's Money in the Bank, Julia faces Charlotte Flair and I believe Zelina Vega, the women's
Mm-hmm.
U.S. champion, in a qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Julia wins, and she pins the women's U.S. champion, Zelina Vega. My assumption here is Julia will lose the ladder match and then turn back around and say, I pinned you, so I want a title match. And if Triple
Oh,
H
100%.
likes her enough, then she may be the women's U.S. champion.
I really wouldn't be shocked at that. That's very WWE booking. So I really wouldn't be shocked of that course because I don't think Julie is gonna win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Like I said, they had her been a champion for that crime. But I think that the payoff is her gonna be facing her eventually for that U.S. title, man. So it is what it is.
There you go. Yeah, so Julia is in the ladder match. Like I said, you know, questionable decision. Never like to see champions just get pinned on a random in a random match, but again, probably just goes to show why these women's mid-card championships shouldn't be a thing anyway. Or if you should have done
Hmm.
one, or if you wanted to do one that bad, you should have just had one that floated. But, you
You
know,
really should have.
WWE has a thing with not wanting things to float, even though they barely like to keep up on the brand split as it is. So it,
They're so weird because, like you said, they don't want things to float, but they have many of their top stars float
yep,
just for the sake of Netflix wants this
yep,
moment. Oh, USA also wants this. It's like, dude, have some consistency.
yep. Jey Uso. How many times did Jey Uso and Sami Zayn pull up
No.
to Friday Night SmackDown during last year's War Games thing?
Hmm.
How many times was Monday Night Raw or sorry, Friday Night SmackDown in Chicago? Punk is a Raw superstar. He went over there. How many times have we seen Randy Orton or John Cena pop up on Monday Night Raw? Meanwhile, John Cena is technically not on a brand, but his championship is associated with the SmackDown brand. Again, so
Hmm.
you would think they would want to do championships that do float, being that they hardly know how to keep a hard brand split together, anyways. But they again, they refuse to have titles float. I guess they just like having people float instead.
Good lord.
Don't know what the point of a draft is then, but okay. Um, so at that point, dude, what you might as well do is just do like contracts that run up at different. Everybody's contract has a different running up point, and by the time their
Yeah.
contract runs up, they can sign with Adam
Well,
Pearce instead, or maybe they want to sign with Nick Aldis for another 6 months or 3 months or whatever the case is. You might as well do something like that because again, you have absolutely no idea how to keep people on their associated brand to begin with, but it is what it is. Um,
no, yeah.
so, like I said, Julia qualifies for the um, Money in the Bank. Speaking of Money in the Bank, Shinsuke Nakamura faces Aleister Black and LA Knight. Isn't it nice to see Aleister Black mixing it up with the singles competitors again? How cool is
I
that?
know. He's not fucking trapped in an eternal tag team.
You mean the Hounds of Hell with Brody King and Tomohiro Ishii? Good God.
The
Um,
fuck out.
greatest cameo ever. I'll say that. Um, LA Knight. LA Knight wins this match. Aleister Black hit the Black Mass on Shinsuke Nakamura, and LA came in the ring and immediately pushed Black out of the ring, stole the pinfall to secure the victory, and be added to the match with Solo Sikoa. So now at this point, we have Solo and we have LA Knight in the match, which obviously we had another 2 qualifying matches tonight, but at this point, it is Solo in LA. So that is your field so far for that. The main event. Thoughts on LA qualifying?
Thought it was a good move. I thought it was a good move. A lot of people want LA Knight to at least be in the match, if not win it. And I feel like, s- Black could have resulted in a negative reaction just kind of by association to that decision of not putting him in the match. So I think having LA Knight win that match was the best thing they could have done.
For sure. For sure. So I'll ask you after the main event of Monday Night Raw, when we get our other
Mm.
competitor, how you feel about the field so far. So I'll wait on that. But the main event, Fraxium versus the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team Championships. The match was very good. The match is very good. We did see interferences from the Motor City Machine Guns, from DIY. Oh, not to mention, DIY earlier in the night added Candice LeRae to their group as their manager.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And then they made, I think it was Gargano, he made a post that said something of the way in it. So it's a pretty cool reference to the way. I don't think they'll end up being called that or nothing. But kind of a callback to that, and I'm glad she's back with them.
For sure. For sure, yeah. Um, I think that's a lot better than having her with Nia Jax for some ungodly reason. I don't know why that pairing was ever even a thing to begin with, but she was just her lackey for a while for again a reason that I don't even know. So I'm glad we got her away from that. And she is with Johnny and Tommaso. I think that is a better spot. I think having her as a manager just to help get the tag team more heat. I think
Yeah,
is the right outcome. The only problem is they're trying to they're trying to garner heat on a stove that is not turned on. And
no,
the
the
stove being
stove
the
gas line is cut.
yes, the gas line is so ridiculously fucked up. Um yeah, again, they're trying to heat up on a stove that has no gas. The gas is the gas is not there. It is all brakes, no gas with
Yeah,
the SmackDown Tag Team division. So, speaking of the SmackDown Tag Team
especially on Raw.
division, don't even fucking well, man, come, bro. You already know. So the Street Profits are Montez climbs the top rope and he's going to hit a splash on Nathan Frazier as the lights go out. And the lights come back on, and there they stand, the Wyatt Six. We have Joe Gacy without a mask. We got Dexter without a mask. We got Rowan without a mask. We got Nikki without her mask. And there he stands, the brother of Wyndham Rotunda, Bo Dallas. There he stands with the gray mask, with the gray
It's
wig,
fucking weave.
with the gray painted beard, in dress clothes, looking like a founding father of AEW with that fucking dress vest. There he is, Uncle Howdy. They're back, so
They're not
I'll say
going.
that. I'll say this, man. I'll say this. These guys are back, and they went after the tag team division. They laid the tag team division to waste. I hope we start to see more of a realistic approach to their goals. You know what I mean? I hope we don't just see them in stories of people that are a dysfunctional family, because that those are good stories to tell when you do want to pull that out of the hat. That is cool, but it can't just be that. They need to have realistic
Mm-hmm.
goals, and they need to have humanized goals. We want to win the tag team
Mm-hmm.
championships. Again, they need to have more humanized goals. They can't just be a spooky group that goes after people that are dysfunctional families because, you know, of whatever.
Family.
Yeah, because of the whole family thing, and whatever their goals were before. But I'm happy to see the Wyatt Six back. Like I said, I'm happy they have a more realistic and more just humanized approach and a goal in, just wanting to go after championships and having desires of championships. Again, obviously, my concern is going to be Bo Dallas still wearing the mask. We need to take that mask off of him. He needs to be Bo Dallas. I think you're just hiding so much charisma, and I think you're hiding so much behind a mask and so much character and facial expressions and just again just charisma. I think you're just hiding so much behind a mask, and nobody else in the group participates in wearing the mask 100% of the time except for him. And I think that's one thing that we need to fix with the group. That's obviously a scare of mine. That's always been a scare of mine. But other than that, we're off to a good start. Like I said, they have a realistic goal in the tag team championships. And, back week one, we're off to a good start. So, how did you feel about this whole thing?
Most definitely, man. It was really nice seeing them again. I'm very glad we got to see them again, and I just hope they do them better, man. I really hope so. I think, like I say every time, the mask is a ceiling. For someone who I really want to see, I want to see Bo Dallas as himself, talking as himself. Um, I really hope we get to see that, man. And I am glad that they're going for something tangible, like the tag team division that they're actually a part of now. Post that moment. So I really hope that they could keep up with, them having goals and them doing this and doing that. And it's not just spooky guys going after people that are dysfunctional families. I hope let them be people. Please let them be people. I really hope they let those masks come off and let them, see who they are. That was some of the best parts about them in the very beginning were those interviews with themselves. That Eric Rowan one, the Bo Dallas one. Those were incredible, dude. I want to see more shit like that of them in the ring, even. That's the type of shit I want to see, man. So I really hope they could humanize them. Really hope they could take those masks off and break through that ceiling, man. I really hope so. I don't know how much they'll do that, but it like you said, it was a good start on Friday.
It was, man. But man, do you just remember those couple weeks where we seen Bo Dallas as Bo Dallas? And he was just
Yeah,
kind of dressed
dude.
in like that, like just denim gear. You know what I mean? He had his denim
Hmm.
jacket on, he had his jeans, and he was
Yeah,
Bo,
yeah, it was so when he was in Adam Pierce's office,
dude.
just just in his office, just waiting to talk to him. Never got any fucking continuity on that. And I would
Nope.
like to. I want to see him walking around in the back with his boys. I don't want them to teleport in and from the ring, and we don't see them backstage because they just disappear. I don't want that
What?
shit. I want them as people. I want them as, yeah, they're weird people, but they're people, and I want
Yeah.
them to be backstage, interact with people, do this, do that. Let them be people for fuck's sakes, man, because that was so incredible when
Sanity
they
used
were.
to do it. Do them how you
Yeah,
did Sanity.
Sanity were backstage, fucking talking to people, walking around like normal human beings.
Yeah, they were deranged, but they were people. They,
Exactly.
you know.
Even the fucking retribution when they
Oh God.
fucking made look like people, even though they were fucking
Yeah.
weirdos that ran in and spray painted the walls and shit. They were people that you saw.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I do not understand what is the problem here, and I do not understand why Triple H does not put his foot down, or I don't know who wants to do the whole mask gig for Uncle Howdy. Um, I don't know if it's Bo. I don't know if it's Triple H, but whoever it is, Triple H is the boss, and he at some point
Mhm.
needs to say, "Dude,
No.
we are hiding so much. So a star, a true
Mhm.
star, somebody who could legitimately be a world champion. Yes, a world champion. Somebody in Bo Dallas. We are hiding that man. We are trapping that man in a cage and hiding him behind gray weave.
Literally,
It's
dude.
criminal.
Dead ass. It's criminal.
So again, it's nice to see them having legit goals and stuff, but we actually need to see them be, not just a spooky group. We need to see them be an actual group. Again, look at what you did with Sandy. Yes, they were deranged. Yes, they were psychopaths, but they cut promos, and they constantly cut promos backstage and were doing that whole sort of thing. And we constantly seen them, talk on the mic face to face in the ring with somebody. They were just they were just people. You know what I mean? They were humanized to a point, and you need to humanize them to that point. Again, you want to keep this creepy cult-like nature? Fine. Do it. It's a cool vibe. I love it. It's, if you want to make it Wyatt family-esque, then go right ahead. That's an awesome vibe. But dude, again, we've seen you do this with Sanity. We've seen you do this with Sanity.
Mhm.
I know you can do it. Yet they don't
Yeah.
with Bo. And again, everybody else doesn't have the problem. Nobody else in the
No.
group has the problem. It's Bo. He's got to take the mask off. Again, I can't stress how criminal it is to hide that man behind some gray weave. It's got it,
So criminal.
it's criminal, man. So I'm so happy to see them back. I just want to see this done the right way, because the last thing I want is for it to go down in WWE history that Bray Wyatt's tribute group was a dud. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
everybody in it had star potential.
exactly.
These guys can be an iconic group, an iconic faction. You have all the tools, yet you hide the leader behind gray weave. It needs to stop. And again, take the mask off of Bo. I want to see him as Bo. Again, I'll say it. God, I sound like a broken record, man. But if he wants to wear the mask for his entrance, go ahead. But at some point, you
Mhm.
got to take it off.
Exactly.
That's the only way this will work, because it will be too much of a gimmick, and it will be the same problems that Bray had with just an overabundance of supernatural.
Exactly. That was the best parts about The original Wyatt family when they first debuted, they were people. They were just country guys that were fucking weird, and they were a cult, but they were people in that scenario, and it was really good. When the Funhouse first started, it was Bray just being fucking crazy, and the Fiend wasn't some magical version of him. It was him just fucking turned up to 11. And it was fucking great, man. And I really hope that they could capture that with the Wyatt Six because you can. They are all amazing in their own way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to. I don't know what it's going to take. But yeah, that's they gotta be done. They gotta be done with him wearing that mask 24/7, man. That is the only way people are going to connect with Bo as a person because his story, we've seen it in those therapy segments. That
Hmm.
story gets over 9 days, not 9 days out of 5. It does. It gets over every
It
day
really
of the week
does.
and more. And you can't, again, you're trapping so much in a cage, man. I can't stress that enough. But the Wyatts are back. Happy to see them back. And again, this is a good start, but we will obviously follow up with how they do with them. Also, they need to be weekly, they need to be regulars. They need to be
Yep.
regulars. You cannot have them, oh, we want to keep it special, so we'll show them on SmackDown every 3 weeks. No. Nope. Don't, no. Just no. The group
None of that.
the group is already special. You don't need to keep them away to try to keep them special. Just book them consistently.
All it takes.
So that was Friday night SmackDown, and that was everything from that. Again, I wish them the best, and I just hope the place that we're coming from translates to you guys listening because we really just want the best for this group. There was
It really.
no there was not two guys in the IWC that were more excited for this fucking group than me and Sir K. And all we want for this
Hmm.
group is the fucking best for this group because we know how good the group is. So, and they failed it so far, and I hope they can make make uh make right on their wrongs from here, but only time will tell.
Really, I'm telling you, man.
So, yeah. So that's it for SmackDown. That is it for SmackDown, man. As before we get to SmackDown, we have, you see it in the background right over Sir K's shoulder, but we got an official word from the official sponsor of Notorious Heels, W Energy. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics, formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. The same jitters that I get every time I see Bo Dallas hiding behind that gray weave. W is a clean
Hmm.
formula that is sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Always, truly, gotta shout out Debbie. Whether it's work, workout, anything you may need the energy for, man. Dynamite, AEW pay-per-views, they run late. Whatever you need the energy for, you don't want the jitters. Try Dubby, it'll taste good all at the same time.
There you have it. So, as always, shout out the official sponsor of what we do here at Notorious Heels, W Energy. Thank you again to the great people over at W. Here we are. Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, wrestling wise, was pretty top
Great.
notch here tonight.
The wrestling tonight was really fucking good. The Money in the Bank matches, even how fucking that the booking wise of that tag team division, the match itself was still really dope. Um, Good matches tonight, man. Good matches tonight.
Yes, for sure. For sure. So, the show opens up with the new and improved the group that the dirt sheet said would not be getting a third member, and we called them out and said that that was bullshit, they got a third member. On
No
what
way.
realm did you fucking think the group was going to stay? I mean, at some point, you have just got to look at what you are putting out there, bro.
Like,
Did they honestly believe this group would just stay as a fucking tag team?
and like a lot of the reports were, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Dog on the whole thing they're playing up on TV is that the baby faces are starting to outnumber them. Why the
Yep.
fuck would they just continue that for fucking 5 months? What are you talking about? Of course it literally TV set up a third man. Why would you fucking report against that?
WWE feeds them stuff, and they just figure, well, we put it out because it pays the bills, and you know,
Yeah,
who cares? Who cares about what we put
who
out? We
cares?
can fucking lie to these people all we want. No
Exactly.
pride, no pride. So it opens up with Seth Rollins and his group. Can we please give them a name, please?
Please, please. If 2 people, all right, okay. 3 people, okay. 4 people in a group, please, for the love of God, give them a fucking name.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So Seth goes to speak, and the wise man grabs the microphone. He introduces the group. He says, "The man to my left comes from a true bloodline of badasses." He says, "I will put my reputation to the line, or I will put my reputation on the line, and say that this man is going to main event WrestleMania 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. And that is not a prediction. That is a spoiler. And that man is Braun Breaker." I respect that you love your boy, but please do not main event 5 WrestleManias in a row. We need a
No,
little freshness in these Mania main events. We've already seen Cody in the last 3, right? Please.
it was fucking miserable when Roman did it for like 6 straight.
Oh my God. Coincidentally, the first couple ones were worse than the last couple ones because he was actually
Yeah,
actually went into God
good.
mode for the last couple ones thanks to Triple H.
Exact,
But those first couple ones,
literally.
oh my God. Well,
Rough, dude.
the one with Brock was horrible, and then was at 38.
Oh,
37 was
dear.
actually pretty good. And then 30 36 he wasn't on, and that would have been against Goldberg, so that would have been pretty shit. 35 he didn't main event. 34, oh my God, with Brock, please, for the love of God. And 33 and 32.
Oh,
Dude,
oh,
holy
fucking
fuck. Those
3
were,
straight years of shitters.
dude, bro. 31 was awesome. 31, 37, 39, and 40, and 41.
Mhm.
Both on 40. So all 6 of them were great. The other 3, oh my God.
Horrid.
Oh fuck. Those were my God, those were rough. Those were very rough. We stuck through it though. We got our good Roman main events eventually. So,
Eventually.
the crowd starts chanting for CM Punk. Paul says Punk is not here this evening. And that is all big thanks to Big Bronson Reed. He says people at WWE refuse to put this man in the ring with people. They said he's too reckless because of the tsunami. And because he is a violent man in a PG era. So what did he do? He went and attacked the top star of this industry, the future of this industry, Seth Rollins. And he put more of a beating on Seth than Roman or Punk has in the last 10 years. He says he tells the fans they need to acknowledge Seth Rollins for his sacrifices to lead this industry into the future.
Hell, I got a lot of oohs and ahs.
That got a lot of oohs and ahs. So I thought the first part of this promo, I thought it was great. Obviously, Paul Heyman could talk anybody up. Paul Heyman can sell he can sell ice to an Eskimo. I mean, he is he is fantastic. He's fantastic, man. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought he did a good job at building these guys up. And you know, I said it a little bit on the when we gave our quick thoughts on the Double or Nothing review. With this group now having Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, when this group is all said and done, or maybe even while the group is still going on, maybe towards the end of its shelf life, you absolutely need to propel these guys into the main event scene. I don't want to see these guys hanging around the mid card. I don't want to see these guys, you know, just hanging around doing whatever. You need younger names in this main event scene, and Braun Breaker is a great option for that. And then Bronson Reed, I don't even know how old he is, but I could tell you he would be incredible in the main event scene as well. Okay, he's 36, so you probably I don't know how long the man's going to wrestle for, but you at least have another solid 4 to 5 years out of this guy. And
Mm-hmm.
these two guys need to be in the main event scene again towards the end of this group shelf life, or especially afterwards. Again, these guys being in this group, there is no more hanging around the mid card. This needs to propel them to that main event level and to that upper echelon of talent, just to get some fresh names in there.
They really do. They have to really come out of this looking 10 times better than they entered the group. I really
Yeah.
hope that they result in that.
No, for sure. So, and this also goes to show why Rollins sought out Bronson Reed for this group, because out of everybody that Bronson chose to attack, it was Seth, because Seth is the future of the industry. He is the top star of the industry. So Seth, I guess in hindsight, took it as a compliment that Bronson Reed attacked
Yeah,
him, because that meant that Bronson thought he was a top star of this industry. So pretty much exactly what I said. Everybody tried to say it didn't make any sense, but you know, like I said a couple unscripted ago, it makes all the sense in the world.
it really does, man. It makes a lot of sense for him to go with him. He respects him. He respects who he doesn't like, and he respects his way of trying to get up in the company. And it was going to be through Seth, and Seth respects that, man. And I'm really glad they went with Bronson Reed in this group. And I like how they're playing him up as basically the Randy Orton of the group, the loose cannon,
Yeah.
the most like violent, dangerous one. I like that.
The one that will piss in your bag while you're not looking. That the one that will rip the urinal out of the wall. That
I
guy
don't know.
is Bronson Reed. A
He's
violent
not doing
man.
all that shit.
He's um I'm not gonna lie. Somebody pisses in my bag, I'm killing you. It is it
Yeah. Oh yeah.
if I'm
Uh,
digging through my shit and I feel a wet substance on my hand and it fucking smells like urine, you are dead. Whoever did that,
oh,
you are fucking. Didn't he shit in somebody one of the woman's bags too?
oh yeah, dude.
You're done.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
you're.
be on an episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We're making a whole season
Come
out
on,
of this
bro.
shit because ain't no way, dog. I'm making a two-parter fucking episode, bro. Cause there's no way.
If I open my bag up and there's fucking human shit in my bag, you are I am absolutely busting your fucking head open, bro. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
way. There is no. Orton was a demon, bro. I'll say that. I don't know
he was a
how that
demon.
man still has a job. I mean,
Uh,
man, that
I don't
shit,
know how he didn't get fucking job.
dude. again,
Cause god
somebody,
damn.
if I dig in my bag and and my hand smells like piss, you're done. You're just done. You better
It's
hope I
over
don't
with.
find out it was you, because man, oh god, I he was a demon. But yes, Bronson Reed is that guy. I do agree with that for sure. So
He really is.
so um so Seth grabs the mic. He says the division is he says this is or oh, my bad. No, I said division. This is his vision to lead us into the future. He says through complete control and domination. Not to mention, Bronson Reed maybe is that guy who's you know, sticking his hand in his pants before he goes to shake the writer's hand.
It's
Hello,
just
sir. Oh,
wild.
hold on a minute. All right, now shake my hand.
It is
Diabolical.
wild.
Those poor writers were sweating, bro. Sweating. I wonder if
That
any of
man
them
was
ever did it.
evil.
I'm sure,
I
probably.
mean, I'm sure they did. Yeah, they were gonna get probably canned if they didn't.
God
So
damn
they
it,
fucking
dude.
had to. Crazy. Crazy as hell.
Man just grabbed his balls and then offered to shake
Hopefully it
my
was
hand.
one.
And then
Imagine
and
it was like after a match.
and then he tried to boss up with him, bro. Say you're not gonna shake my hand? Oh, come on, dude. Don't do this poor dork like that, bro.
Ugh,
This
it's
guy
crazy.
this this guy's sitting in a fucking writer's room. All his ideas are getting rejected, and he's got to deal with Randy Orton reaching for his balls and then fucking shaking their hand. Come on, bro. Fuck you.
It's fucking crazy.
Again, Orton, man, don't know how that man made it through his younger years in WWE, man. That he had a real guardian angel, I'll tell you. But anyways,
Truly was a demon.
um, some of the greatest stories you will ever hear is young Randy Orton stories. But anyways, so
Mm-hmm.
so he says this is his vision that is going to lead us into the future through complete control and domination. The fans start booing him. They start chanting, "Fuck you, Rollins." He calls out the fans saying that they were just singing his song less than 5 minutes ago. He says he is the only person who is capable of carrying this this industry into the future. He says he's the only person who's capable of carrying the power to lead this industry to the future. He says the power comes through championships. He says he should be standing here world champion right now if it was not for Sami Zayn and CM Punk. He says, but Punk found out on Saturday what happens when you underestimate me. He says, I have found something. He says, but I have found something that can allow me to take that can allow me to control the fate of those championships. He looks up at the Money in the Bank briefcases hanging above his head, and he says he is going to qualify for Money in the Bank. He says then he can cash in whenever I want, however I want, on whoever I want, because he is Seth freaking Rollins. I was surprised. Honestly, dude, I was surprised they didn't get interrupted, but it was a great change of pace. I mean,
It was, dude.
it's the same open every week. Whoever's standing in the ring gets interrupted. That's how that
Gets
goes.
interrupted. This is how Raw usually goes, dude. Opening promo, usually around the Seth group or whatever. Someone interrupts them, brawl. Next match, first match on the show, usually a penta match.
Yep.
Gets done, boom, Judgment Day
Yep.
segment,
Yes.
boom, rest of the fucking show.
Yep.
Penta always got the first match on the show. It's fucking, dude, it's the same thing usually every fucking week, man. And I'm
Man.
glad with that opener, they didn't have them like be attacked or nothing,
Yeah.
because obviously they saved it for later in the night. But definitely love that opening. I love the opening. I like what they said, and I love this group. At this point they literally just need that single identity, and they're complete.
So, so you know, with Bronson Reed joining the group, do you like
Hmm.
his addition to the point where they don't need any more, or would you still like them to add maybe one more, two more members? Where are you at with the state of the group right now?
I think they can add more people. I don't think you need to as of right now,
Hmm.
maybe. I think your next step should be an identity, and then once you get the identity, I think you could bring more people in under that identity of the group, whether it's like another singles guy or like a tag team from the tag team division, whatever you might want to add. I think when you add more people, it's got to be under an identity, and I think that should be your next step is giving this group an identity, whatever it may be called, as long as it's not fucking stupid. Give them a name, let them come out to their own faction theme song. I think it'll be much better. I think it'll be much more of a group than just Seth Rollins and company. But what
Um,
about you, man? What do you think should be next?
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I think if you do want to add a member, with the rumors of this going all the way till War Games, I definitely think you could wait for another member. I do think at this point it should probably be Austin Theory. I think he would be a
I think
great
so.
addition to the group. Um, I just think that it would be a nice step up for him and a nice way to put him back in the spotlight. As for the group, yeah, you need to get them their own theme song. Um, you can and you need to get them their own name. What their own name can
Hmm.
be. um Seth Rollins likes to always call this his vision. I don't know if you maybe want to call them the Vision or the Revolution. I know we've heard that they trademarked Adrenaline Drip. um
God no.
that is an interesting name. It's to me it's not horrible. I think there's better options for their name, but the Vision, the Revolution, um redesign,
There's some
rebuild,
good ones.
reclaim. There's a couple things. I'm only saying that so they could use that Downstate song as their faction theme song, but that's just me. But I think so. A song, I think is what they need, man. A song is what I think they
Exactly.
need. And Rollins, I one thing with this group, I really wish Rollins would have got a different look. Where we still see him dress the same, even though his other guys are in all black suits. I would have liked to see Rollins dress, you know, like them, maybe not in an all black suit, but just wear whatever all black. I think that would have been nice. I think that would have been
Something
a
all black.
nice, yeah, I think that would have been a nice like
Hmm.
change of pace for them. But hey, if you can get Downstate to do a song for them, then I think that would be pretty cool. I know we heard didn't we hear a couple months ago like a leaked Downstate like some lyrics that they did
There was.
for Rollins.
I think there was. I totally forgot what it was, but I think I remember what you're talking about. I think like some lyrics or like a snippet of something was leaked.
Hmm. It sounded pretty good, whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. I don't know if you wanted to do
Hmm.
that, but I definitely think I think yeah, I don't know. I think they need an identity. Like I said, I don't know if you want to call them, Revolution or the Vision or the Future or something, but they need an identity. Obviously, they needed a third man. I never believed they weren't going to get a third man, like the dirt sheets tried to tell you. Um, I it was obvious they were always going to be set up to get a third man eventually. And I'm glad it's Bronson, but I do think if you do add another member, I think Austin Theory is the guy. And I think that before that, a identity for the group and just a clear cut identity for the group is the way to go. Um, for me. So yeah, I'm sitting in the same boat as you are for sure. And yeah, like I said,
Most definitely.
if this is going to be drug out until War Games, I would probably save the addition of another member down the line, just so the group doesn't get stale by then. And then later in the fall, you can add a new member to sort of freshen it up before we get to War Games a little bit.
I was gonna say do it sometime after Survivor Series, and I
Maybe
think it'll be
SummerSlam.
good. Yep, it's around
There
SummerSlam.
you go.
Survivor Series is fucking War Games. I fucking do it every time. I'm too dyslexic for those goddamn pay-per-views.
All good, all
Goddamn.
good. But Sir K, what was next on the show?
Hell, now that you say that, man,
I
who
can't
else but
remember.
Penta comes out?
Oh my
No
God,
way.
Penta. Yeah, that's right. He
He,
was the match after the opening promo. That is right. That's right.
he's always the first match and the first like entrance.
Yep.
I mean, first match entrance of the show. Seth. With that group,
Mm-hmm.
they usually started and have their
Good.
entrance or whatever. But he's the first match
Yep.
entrance every time,
Yep.
every time. And this week, they were, I guess they were still, I didn't know they were going to still be in the, Saturday Night's Main Event arena. So they didn't get to do like the full pyro entrance.
Yeah.
They did it like much up top. So the camera work was kind of wonky, if I'm being honest. But, it shocker, Penta started off the show.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And
I'm not complaining.
what's up,
Which I'm not complaining because that match was beast and Penta's
bro?
beast. But like, move the show around. You have 2.5 hours. You move. Please move this show around in pace.
Yeah, man. I mean, have this match just open. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
just
and then
do.
have that segment.
Yeah. I mean, it is. AEW can do the same things a lot of time. They start every week with a match. It's like, dude, if and WWE is the opposite problem. They always start with
Hmm.
a promo. Like, dude, switch it up. AEW start with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate one week, and then the next
Yep.
week it can go back to doing your match for another 2 weeks. But then for another week, give us a promo to start. And then with WWE, you can give us promos to start, but hey, sometimes it's okay. Throw a match in the open to the show.
Mhm.
You know, I would like if both companies would just, just
Mix
expand
it up.
their, yeah, just mix it up a little bit. Just expand the Rolodex just a little bit, bro. And just again, give us just a little bit more variety and make the show unpredictable on what can open the show. You know,
Hmm.
it'd be nice once in a while. So Penta is in this qualifying match against Dragon Lee and Chad Gable. Chad Gable, they announced right before the match for facing Vikingo at Worlds Collide the same day of Money in the Bank. So I'm pretty sure we all knew that Chad Gable was not winning this match.
Good lord. Uh,
I don't know why you would announce this match I don't know why you didn't announce Gable and Vikingo after this match.
Especially with the fuckery that happened in the match, you could basically just could have played like that fuckery warranted that match. But no, they just like to spoil it.
Yeah, and again, it just Chad Gable's making his entrance, and they say at Worlds Collide, Chad Gable will be facing Vikingo, the guy who's ringside right now.
Like that's the same night as okay.
All right, I guess. So way to make me say, oh, okay, you just announced, you just announced, Chad Gable is going to be facing Vikingo at Worlds Collide. So, thanks. Now I know he's not winning this. However, the match was incredible. These guys showed out. I don't know if WWE was a little bit spooked by some of the in-ring competition we seen last night, but Triple H decided to have these guys go out there and put on a show. And
Hmm.
this match was one of the better matches of the night, man. This was phenomenal. This was a fantastic match. Dude, that tope made Pat
Man,
McAfee say holy shit on commentary.
that that man fucking flew.
Which
Fucking it, man.
we knew he
Hmm.
was capable of this because in AEW, when he was
Yeah.
with Roosh and I think Drilistico, this man did the same thing. Kenny Omega was on one of their shoulders, and this man, Dragon Lee, does a suicide dive, and I shit you not, flies into about the third or fourth row in the audience. He flew over the
Mm-hmm.
fucking barricade into the audience, about 3 rows deep, I believe it was.
Insane, dude. Please use Dragon Lee more. For
Bro,
the love of God.
took the words right out of my mouth,
Would you
bro.
like use the fucking guy, dude? He's great. He's incredible.
He got a huge pop from the audience here tonight, and he made Pat McAfee say "Holy shit" on commentary. Dude, this was awesome. That was an amazing spot. That was an amazing spot. These guys, Penta was sitting on the announce table. Dragon Lee came out, suicide dived, flew right onto Penta and right over the announce table. It was a brutal spot. Got a huge reaction from the audience. Um, Chad Gable and Dragon Lee were in the ring mixing it up a little bit. Chad Gable beautifully throws Dragon over his head with a belly-to-belly suplex into the corner. They then get Gable gets on the top rope to go for his moonsault, and Vikingo interferes because after that table spot, I forgot to mention, Chad Gable walked over there and started punching Vikingo in his head, and Vikingo tripped Gable up and kicked him in the face, busted Gable open on his forehead, or right above his eye, it looked. He busted him open, and Dragon then hit him with a Tree of Woe. Penta took care of Dragon Lee, hit Gable with a Mexican Destroyer into the Penta Driver for the 1-2-3 as Pentagon advances to Money in the Bank as the third member of the match alongside Solo Sikoa and LA Knight. So now you're looking at Penta, Knight, and Sikoa for your 3 participants in the Money in the Bank ladder match as Penta takes care of business, man. I love how much he's gotten over, and I feel sad for Ray Phoenix that he hasn't been able to get as over as Pentagon, but he is he is a lot more charismatic, I will say, and I think that
Yes.
plays to his benefit a lot more.
I think it does benefit him a lot more, and he's fucking amazing, and I'm glad he got to have, this on Raw in this singles, format, dude. I'm really glad, and the match we got tonight was fucking incredible, dude. Incredible from all 3 guys, and I like the outcome, man. I mean, although, Chad Gable loses again, that's not a shock at this point. It does, set up, even though it was already announced, the Vikingo match. Would have been a much simpler way of telling that story if you announced that match after that qualifier match. But
Yeah,
you did it before, so it is what it is, man. But overall, love what they did there. Phenomenal fucking match, and I like Penta's
great.
addition into the match.
Very great, man. I wish AEW would do this, but with people that people cared about, because AEW has a habit of putting on great matches, but the people are people that nobody cares about. Um, yes, but it does
Mhm.
it does suck to see Ray Phoenix, at least so far, not getting as over as Pentagon is, but I'm just very grateful we do have some of the better luchadors in WWE. I know Sir K feels different. Some of Sir K's favorite luchadors are Mystico, Templario, Mascara Dorada, Valada Jr., Magnus, and Ruhido. So I know he loved that collision match, but I will gladly take
Yeah.
the guys like Penta and Phoenix and Dragon Lee, and I'm glad they're in the company nonetheless. But yes, I just I you could definitely just feel that Pentagon and his charisma is carrying him further than Phoenix is, for sure, because
Oh,
Phoenix is very just in ring base. He's gonna give you a killer match, and Penta's gonna give you a killer match too, but the one thing that separates them in the WWE, for the WWE audience, Penta does have him beat in the charisma department, for sure.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's just one of those things where he's just got that swag, dude. He does the entrance. He does his little strut. He's just got that charisma, man, and that really elevates him.
I'm sorry, were you talking about Penta or Velato Jr.? Or were you
None
or were
of
you
those AEW.
Oh, come on, dude. You were just telling me how much you love Mascara Dorada and
Oh, we were just kidding, man.
and Magnus.
Magnus, fucking Magnus. Man, it's a fucking name, man. But most definitely, man. It really
He's
sucks to see,
switching up,
that
guys. Yet again,
the
I'm not
quality.
surprised.
Well, I'm not switching up for that. I'll switch up for some certain things. I will, but those luchadors over there in AEW are not my cup of tea.
It's not what he told me, but all right, I'll let him have his moment. He's constantly telling me how much he loves Ruhido
Rahito.
or
Mm-hmm.
Rugido, whatever his name
Whatever
is.
they fucking be.
Uh, Sir K, man, what was next on the show, bro? After the Penta match? Well, I can't remember,
What,
man. Hmm.
what was it? Was it a was it a segment of a certain group?
Might have been. My memory.
Oh,
You might be onto something.
it
What?
was the Judgment Day.
Oh
No
my
way.
God, that's right. It was the
It was
Judgment
Raw.
Day, the third segment on the show. It looks like Triple H is having a problem with his Google Docs where the opening promo, Penta match, Judgment Day segment are page one, but for some reason his computer won't let him backspace page one. He can only backspace the rest of the
No,
show. That's it.
literally. Literally every fucking Raw starts at Rollins and Company, whether they get attacked or not, doesn't really matter. Fucking Penta match is the first match on the show, the next thing. And the third thing, which is a segment, every week, Judgment Day segment. Fucking
There
never
you go.
fails. Good, mix up your goddamn show, bro. At this point, just fucking start the show with the Judgment Day and just get that shit out the way. Please.
For sure. Actually, this week's
It
Judgment
was,
Day segment was better.
it was fun.
It was
Mm-hmm.
yes, Roxanne adds a different dynamic and adds freshness to it. Which is what I was stressing with putting new people around Rollins' group and why I would wait because it will add freshness to the group. Because I guarantee you, by October, everybody's going to be saying, "Oh my God, we've been seeing Rollins fight with Punk for 5 months. Can this be a
Mm-hmm.
little different?" Boom! Then you add a new member, and hopefully, it'll give some new life to something. So
Hopefully.
Roxanne did that tonight for the Judgment Day. I don't know how long this will last, but she did it tonight. She's in the back and she says to Dominic, "Do you want some chicken nuggets?"
Mm,
And Dominic, she then starts to ask Dominic if his shoulder's okay because he's complaining about his shoulder. She then starts trying to rub his shoulder and his championship. She's touching all over him. As we see the return of Liv Morgan. Liv is back, and it looks like Dominic, maybe in his cheater phase yet again, because he
goddamn.
is he's caught he's caught up again. He's caught up cheating again. He is caught up with another girl, and he this time it's Roxanne Perez. She says, "Dominic, what are you doing? What is going on?" And as she's getting pissed, all you can see behind her is Finn Balor fucking
Mark fucking
smiling his ass off, dude. This man's smile looks so big, he looked like my fucking co-host over here, Sir K, man. This motherfucker, he he is just cheesing, man. His smile's so big and his face is red and he's just like, holy shit. And he's like, he is marking out over this turmoil as he the whole segment again is just in the back just cheesing his ass off, and she is She says, Dominic, what is going on here? And he's trying to explain himself. She says, don't say anything. Raquel has been keeping me up to date on everything. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Adam Pearce, and I'm going to get myself a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank.
Hmm.
I don't believe she ended up getting the match, or at least we didn't see a graphic for next week's qualifying matches, but she did get a match against Kairi Sane tonight. There was a segment with her and Damage Control, and it ended up in a Kairi and Liv one-on-one match, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. But what was I gonna say? Very fun segment. Usually Judgment Day is really tried and true, and it's the same thing every fucking week. This week was a little different, man. Finn absolutely fucking killed me. Fucking looked like me at the water park, apparently. But very fun segment, very funny. Interesting dynamic. I do like the dynamic that Roxanne brings to the group. So at the end of the day, it's one we have seen before, but it is refreshing on a week to week basis, so that is nice to see. And it was a fun segment, man. I'm very interested to see where it goes. I because especially with the end of Raw tonight, I ask myself, how does this not all blow up next week? I half the time of Judgment Day, I'm asking that every week. How is this not blowing up in the next week? Every single time,
Nah, for sure.
and it won't.
It won't. Yeah, it definitely won't.
It won't. It literally won't. And every week I'm like, dude, how does this not blow up? But this week was very fun and a little different from what we normally get.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, Roxanne added just a nice bit of freshness, and then Finn played it off great. I just hope they don't end up pushing Dominic out of the group, which honestly, that's where it looks like it's going now. They might push
Yeah.
both Dom and Liv out of the group. Um, Poor Finn, dude. I mean, what is the problem, bro? Get this man out of this group. And I don't know. I just really hope Roxanne obviously doesn't get added, and everybody in the group turns around and sees what Finn is doing and says, dude, get the fuck out, and they kick him out of the group. Because, dude, if they're trying to, slowly push Dominic and or Liv out of the group, I mean, dude, what is it gonna take, man? Get Finn out of this group, man, please. I just,
Oh my
I
god.
I really hope he tries driving a wedge into the group, and nobody can see it now, but eventually they catch on to how happy he gets during these segments, and then everybody kind of catches on to what he's doing. And I just really hope that's how it goes. If they somehow try to turn this around on Dominic, or turn this around on Dominic, like I said, Dominic and or Liv, to then kick both of them out and then add Roxanne, dude, that is, I cannot stress. Get Finn out of this group. This man needs to be a baby face again, and quickly.
He really does, dude. He really does. I thought that should have been the whole goal with the fucking priest stuff, and I hope it's the goal now, man. I hope we finally do it, because what would even the group be if they kick those two out? Is it gonna be Finn, Carlito, and JD McDonough? Like what is the group gonna be if they kick them out, man? So I say your best option is kicking Finn out, please.
I can hope and pray. We get a match with Rusev defeating Akira Tozawa. This was all but about 1 minute long. And this was this was a complete squash. This was a complete squash. Rusev mopped the floor with this man, put him in the accolade. The match ended. He kept the accolade in, and then we seen Sheamus come out, stare Rusev in the face, and Rusev walked off. So obviously, I'm sure sooner rather than later, he's going to be getting his lick back on Sheamus for interrupting the beatdown of Tozawa. And as Sheamus says it, I think these two are headed for a bonger.
I think they are, man. I think they are. I think it's gonna be a dope ass feud,
Yeah,
and I'm excited for it.
for sure. For sure, man. Sheamus, bro. Please get Get this
Please.
man the IC title, bro. Because knowing Sheamus, man, knowing Sheamus again, I know he's gonna put on an amazing fucking match with Rusev, and I know they're gonna do their thing,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
So, I know he's gonna kill it, man. But I just hope,
I
man,
really
that
hope.
he ends up getting his flowers sometimes afterwards, because I already know he's gonna try his hardest to put the man over.
Most definitely.
The New Day, the War Raiders, and the American Maid. The match was good. It
It
was.
was.
But fucking hell, man. You see the
Uh,
New Day win as they as Xavier Woods rolls up Julius Creed in what was a good match, but dude, holy shit,
what's next?
man. Well,
What what on earth could be next for this tag team division? You literally just had your fucking just stale ass fucking tag team champions beat their only two possible opponents that they literally have on this show. What do you do after this is my question. Because I don't have an answer. Unless you pull some fucking tag team out of your ass and fucking boom, here you go. Yeah, there who is next in this division?
I, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
They've built nobody up. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are in the division. We never see them get the light of day ever. Um, the only team that I could think they would eventually experiment with the tag team titles on at this juncture is Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker,
That
because
could be
you
cool.
you have nobody else. There is nobody. You have done
No,
the one match with the three tag teams on the show that actually get the time of day, and I use that term very loosely because
very.
none of them get the light of day really. The New Day pins the Creeds. I don't know who the Creeds pissed off, but the Creeds, Julius gets rolled up in a move that um I think, everybody seen coming. At least I felt the New Day were just gonna retain going into this. What
Same.
honest to God, what the fuck is next? What is next?
What is
You have done nothing. You have done nothing for this tag team division. Not a single fucking thing except kill it ever since ever since the Judgment Day had the titles last year. I mean, you've done
mm-hmm.
nothing but kill it. I mean, really, ever since Awesome Truth had the titles. You know what?
Oh yeah.
Probably even before that. I can't remember the last time the Raw Tag Team Championships actually had a good had good champions,
I really
other
couldn't
than the
tell you, dude.
Usos
Genuine.
2 years
I
ago.
was to say probably the Usos 2 fucking years ago. God damn.
What is next? What? There's no draft. Still have yet for that announcement. There's no
Mm-hmm.
draft. There will be no mixing up of the tag team divisions. So what is next? I mean, honestly, probably knowing WWE, they're gonna say the War Raiders didn't get pinned, so now they're gonna feud with the New Day. That's probably what they're gonna do. Who fucking cares? Who cares?
Just literally, dude.
They
Fucking who cares?
they can go on. They can go out there and have a good match every Monday Night Raw until next year's WrestleMania. If it's these three teams, I don't fucking care to see it. I don't.
No, I really don't fucking care.
These three tag teams have been facing each other the whole entire calendar year of 2025. Probably even before
Mm-hmm.
that, since the War Raiders were champions.
Since
Who
they fucking
cares?
returned. Literally.
I don't know. I don't know. The yeah, this this tag team division over anything sucks ass, dude. It really does.
Oh,
At the very
totally.
least, SmackDown has names. They have a bit more variety than three teams. They have like 5, 6 teams, maybe
Mm-hmm.
6, maybe with the Wyatt Six now.
Mm-hmm.
Monday Night Raw, there's been these three,
None.
and they've all
Literally
faced
just
each
these
other
three.
all year.
Like, there's nothing next.
No, again, at least for the Street Profits, you could say what's next. Well, they have Fraxium, who, the match ended via DQ. So I'm sure that they're going to revisit that. And they have the Wyatt Six.
Mm-hmm.
Who do the New Day have? No one.
No.
The New Day win, and they run off into the crowd and hold up the championships. And the aura is gone. The heat is gone. There's no more fucking heat from the heel turn. There's no nothing here.
None.
The War Raiders, they put the camera on them, and they're looking all sad. And I couldn't give any less of a fuck.
No. I don't care because you guys don't care about your tag team division.
So Xavier Woods rolls up Julius Creed. I texted the guys in the group chat, and I told them I genuinely cannot remember I don't ever remember seeing the Creed brothers win anything. I cannot. I'm so serious. I cannot remember a time where the Creed brothers pinned somebody on the main roster for a 1, 2, 3. I can't remember it. I have.
Did they get a win over the Wyatts one of those times?
I don't think so. I think American Made lost every
Damn.
time.
Holy fuck! Yeah, I couldn't.
Maybe
I
Chad
can't tell you
Gable
then.
might have beat Uncle Howdy one time, or he might have
Yeah,
beat
but the
Bo
tag
Dallas or
team,
something. I can't remember.
mm, I think he did, but I don't think that tag team, like you said, I don't ever remember them winning a thing.
I have no
Literally
memory
ever.
of them winning
No.
anything. What putting them with Chad Gable was supposed to boost their careers,
It
and
was.
they've done the same exact shit they've done before they were with Gable.
Literally. Do nothing and lose.
What a joke! This fucking tag team division is a fucking joke. It is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you watch SmackDown, and at least there's some teams over there that are fucking over. You got the Street Profits. They're over with the crowd. I'm not really a big Street Profits guy, but they're over with the crowd.
All right.
Fraxium, it's over. DIYs is good. Motor City Machine Guns are they're, I wouldn't say they're like crazy over,
Right.
but they're liked. You got the Wyatt
Mm-hmm.
Six. They're pretty over. You watch Monday Night Raw, none of these teams get a reaction. Not a single one of these fucking
Not all.
teams get a reaction. This division is a fucking joke. It is a fucking joke.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no saving it as of right now.
No. No.
Jey Uso. They did it.
Yeah.
They fucking did it.
He's
They put it on a shirt.
fine. I knew that, and if this shit starts and I'm reading the back of his shirt and all I see is yeet, and I was like, yep, that they finally made it a fucking shirt.
His shirt
Good
says
lord.
4 letters, 1 word. And on the back it says yeet. Holy fuck. They
So fucking lame, dude.
Oh my god. What is that? What is that saying, bro?
Yeet.
The fuck? Jey Uso, he comes out, he does his stick. The World Heavyweight Champion is in Yo City. Does his thing. Doesn't really get word out. And Gunther comes out. Gunther congratulates him on 15 years of the Usos. Let's take a pause right there. Big congratulations to those two for sure. I legit remember watching them debut and attack the Hart Dynasty. Little did I know that all these years later, these guys would be my favorite tag team in WWE history. And in my top 3 favorite tag teams of all time.
My favorite world champ, too.
I probably wouldn't say all of that, but hey.
Oh, you told
Um,
me. You
uh,
love Jay Uso.
nah, oh man, oh god.
Ugh.
You know, maybe I did, but you told me that your favorite luchadors are Rugido, Magnus, Velato Jr., and Mascarada Dorada.
There you go.
No, man, but it's crazy, bro. Again, I legit remember sitting on my living room floor and watching these guys attack the Hart Dynasty, David Hart Smith and Tyson Kidd and Natalia, because they debuted with Tamina. And again, all these years later, who would have guessed that these guys would be my favorite WWE tag team of all time, and my top two favorite tag teams of all time. In history, man. Awesome. Congratulations. 15 years of excellence, 15 years of fucking greatness. And I'm happy to have grown up, man. I'm happy to have grown up, and growing up growing up, bro. I'm happy to have grown up watching them. And growing up, all the old heads loved to tell me about the Road Warriors and Demolition and all these favorite tag teams of their era. And I'm happy that one day I will be the unk telling people how great the Usos were in WWE. So they
Oh,
legends.
definitely. Truly. Truly are.
So he congratulates them on 15 years of the 15 years of the Usos. He tells him he can see how hard he is trying. He says he is always there. He says Jay is always there for his friends. No problems, no questions asked. He says those are great qualities for a human being, but not a world champion. Gunther says he doesn't blame Jay because he doesn't know any better. This does not come natural to you. But I am going to relieve you of your duties on June 9th, and I am going to make things right and put the championship back around my waist. Jay says, "Are you done?" He says, "I am done with everybody saying my days as champ are numbered." He says, "I'm a real one. I'm there for my friends and family. And I have friends and family. And I fight for them every day, and they fight for me. If you want to run your mouth and judge me, go ahead. Because what you're fighting for is less than what I'm fighting for." He says, "Gunther, I'm not overlooking you." He took a pretty long pause. I don't know if he forgot his lines, but he was taking pretty long pauses in here.
The I was gonna say there was that one where he literally like paced like 3
Yep.
times before
He's
his
like,
next
fuck.
line.
Yeah, for sure. So he says, "I am not overlooking you. I know what you are capable of, Gunther. But at the end of the day, I'm fighting for their support, and in Phoenix, I am going to take you out again. Tap you out again. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet." This is what happens when you have a bunch of 40-year-old corporate dorks trying to come up with a cool saying for Jey Uso. They come up with that. 4 letters,
They
1 word, yeet.
go from Yeet being this genuinely just funny thing that they just do in their segments because, that's just them being them in the moment and they're, having fun, to the most corporately fucking made fucking catchphrase ever. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. Good lord. It was a fine segment, I guess. Another thing to add to the run sheet of your usual Monday Night Raw is having Gunther interrupt someone during their promo to interject himself in their promo. That's every week too. Um, so hey, of course we got another run sheet of Raw down. Check that mark off. But it was fine. Built up what their match is gonna be, and I guess that's what it did, man. I'm very curious to see how that match goes, especially with, possible people that could win Money in the Bank. It's very interesting to see, what could happen during that match.
Definitely. Definitely, man. It is very interesting for sure. Overall, I I see Jay. I see Jay keeping it unless WWE really
I think he
altered
does.
plans. I think Jay's reign just screams to me this is going to end with a cash in. I think whoever wins
Oh, it
Money in
is.
the Bank cashes in on him. I don't see anybody cashing in on John Cena. I think Jay is the one to get cashed in on for sure.
I think so, dude.
So Kyrie Sane defeated Liv Morgan. Roxanne tried to help Liv by throwing Kyrie off the top rope, but as Raquel wasn't looking because she was busy telling Roxanne that they did not need her help, she goes for the Oblivion. Kyrie counters it and rolls her up. Liv and Raquel looked pretty mad at Roxanne Perez, but Roxanne was actually just trying to help. Um,
Yeah.
and we'll see how this unfolds a couple segments later in the show. But yeah, Kairi Sane picks up the one-on-one victory against Liv Morgan. This was probably her I'm sorry match because I'm sure Zoe was supposed to take the pin last week and it had to be
Hmm.
Kairi. And that was, I believe, Kairi's return match. So this was
It
probably
was.
their my bad scenario for Kairi Sane.
It really was, man. It really was. It was a fine match and good decision to have Kari win. Nice little
Yeah.
win, and it further extends Judgment Day drama.
Yes. We get a Rhea Ripley vignette. She says, Mommy always being on top was not just a saying, it was a way of life.
Mm.
She says, but lately, that has not been a reality. She says this will be her first ladder match in her career. There is no way that's true. Has she
No
never been in a
way.
ladder match?
Oh wow.
I
That's
heard that
crazy.
and I was like, really? And
That's wild as hell. I would have never guessed.
yeah, and as I'm thinking about it, I guess she has never been in a ladder match. So,
Hmm.
So she says she is can you imagine the amount of brutality I'm going to unleash? And when I win that briefcase, EO and Tiffany, you guys better watch out for Mommy in the Bank.
Mm.
It's actually a pretty hard saying, but too bad Rhea Ripley is not winning the briefcase. At least I don't think. Um
Exactly.
yeah. So Rhea, this was what we seen Rhea in tonight, and yeah, it was nice. It was a good vignette.
Definitely, it was good. Fine vignette and did what it needed to do to, hype the match, obviously.
Liv is in the back, and she is cutting the most silent promo of all time.
Oh
She
yeah, audio was fucked.
she is in the back, and she is lip syncing like she is a Musical.ly star from 2016, and she is yelling at Roxanne and Dom and Raquel, and she's looking in their direction. Finn's cheesing in the back, and when the audio does come back, she tells Raquel, "You're the veteran. You should have known and seen what was going on out there. That can't happen," and walks away. So I don't know what she said in the beginning of the segment, but it seems like she is pretty pissed off at Raquel, and it looks like Finn is getting his wish, and he is driving a wedge between all the members of this group.
Very interesting, very interesting. Would like to hear, the beginning of it, but obviously production fuck ups happen, and we didn't hear that. But we heard the second part. Very interesting. More Judgment Day tension rising, as it always does. It's never gonna hit its peak, but it's rising, and it's interesting to see how
Again,
all this is gonna go down again. Yet fucking again.
Lyra Valkyria. Lyra comes out for a promo, I believe. This is our first time seeing her since Backlash, I believe.
Hmm.
She says Becky came out here the night after Backlash, and she sat up in that corner and talked like she won the match. How delusional. She says Becky made this personal when she got in my fiance's face and tried to break my arm. So now this is personal. She said that at Money in the Bank, she is going to hurt her and break her ego. Is Lyra trying to tell us that she hurts people?
Whoa, she hurts people. Shit, join her in the Hurt Syndicate.
She says she's gonna hurt her, bro.
Gonna hurt. That's what she does. She hurts people, I guess.
Becky comes out. Becky says, "You won the match, sure, but I won the night. I went home with my hot husband, and you went home with your weird little fiance."
Right.
Well, oh man, I guess we all know what Becky Lynch's burner account on Twitter is. Did you see that one post?
Yeah,
It was
sure.
like, it said like anything's possible if this is Lyra's fiance or something. I guess that's Becky's
I guess that
burner.
was Becky.
I guess so.
I guess it is.
Lyra says, "Oh, you said your hot husband. You talking about the only thing that's talented about you?" Becky says, "You are making this personal." She says Lyra is making this personal, and you have to make it personal because you know deep down I am the best thing to ever happen to you and that championship. Lyra says, "Becky, that is not the flex that you think it is. People are not talking about you because you decided to share your spotlight. They're talking about me because I beat you." Becky says, "Here's what I propose to you at Money in the Bank. If you beat me, I will never challenge you for that championship ever again." Lyra says, "That's fine. Not a problem with me. I've already beat you twice, and the last time I did it with my eyes closed." Bex says, "I didn't finish." She says, when you beat me in NXT with the roll up, by the way, nothing decisive, but you did beat me. I so graciously raised your hand afterwards. So if I beat you, you have to graciously raise my hand." Lyra says, "I've never had an issue with raising the hand of a woman that can beat me. It's just never been you yet." As Becky looks very distressed. You cannot tell me that Becky Lynch is selfish. If you look at her facial expressions and the way she is making Lyra come off in these promo segments, Becky's reactions to Lyra's verbiage is just it hits that much harder because Becky is selling this shit as if Lyra is really getting under her skin, and it's making Lyra Valkyria look fucking awesome. And with the stipulation that they're adding, I think Becky Lynch is going to win the title at Money in the Bank, probably to lose it back to Lyra at Evolution. But when Becky wins, I know we're going to see a bunch of Becky Hogan and all this stupid shit. Becky is not selfish. She's never been Becky Hogan, and she's done nothing but help these women, all the women that she's feuded with. And I'm sorry, but for people saying that Mercedes is the best one out of the four horsewomen, everybody that Mercedes has faced in AEW does not look better afterwards. Mercedes looks great
not at
because
all,
she
man.
won another match. Nobody else looks great.
Exactly.
These people actually look great after a feud with Becky Lynch. Becky's the best one, bro. I'm sorry. I know it's hard for you guys to hear it, but Mercedes Moné is not the best. She's the third.
She's not
from
the best
best
one. Nick, Literally, man. Literally. But great segment here, dude. Love Lyra. Think she's fucking great. Love what she's been doing here. And I love how she always has, that verbal number on Becky. I love that. I think it's great. They play it up really fucking well. I really like what they've been doing. Like you said, I think Becky is gonna win it. Add Money in the Bank. She'll probably lose it back at Evolution. Wouldn't be shocked if it's with a Bailey interference is what causes her to lose the title back to Lyra. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of interesting stuff I think is coming up. But so far, love it. Love what they've been doing every week, man. Love the chemistry between the two, and it's really been one of the best parts of Raw.
No, for sure. For sure. Becky's doing a great job at getting Lyra over. Lyra is coming off great. And I hope to just see her overness with the audience get better and better. And I want
Hmm.
to see her progress. And I'm loving what Becky Lynch is doing with just helping get her to that next level. So I think it's great stuff. And Becky is elevating her. So yeah.
Hmm.
So Sami Zayn is walking in the back, and oh my goodness, Karrion Kross
Oh my
walks up to Sami Zayn for a huge ovation.
fucking massive pop because we
Let
finally fucking got the guy on TV.
let's stop right there. Get this guy on television. Did you not hear that reaction for him in a backstage segment? This guy's money, dude. If he is not in the final Raw Money in the Bank qualifying match, we are completely bent sideways here, because how do you not hear that reaction and give this fucking guy an opportunity? How?
Literally, man. I don't get it.
This guy is incredible, man. Just for a segment backstage with him talking to Sami Zayn, got one of the most massive reactions of the night.
Literally.
Give this guy a chance, bro. He better be in that final men's Money in the Bank Raw qualifying match. He absolutely needs to be in that match. No questions
He
asked.
needs to. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it is too long, and we have went too many weeks with not seeing him on the show at all, and just simply saving him for the segment that only the European audience gets to see. It is bullshit.
Every. Mm.
Get this guy on TV, bro. Give this guy opportunities. For the love of God, it is time.
Yeah, I think this week the European backstage segment that nobody saw was AJ, I guess, attacking Chad Gable. We just didn't see that.
What? What? Okay.
But it happened, so I'm sure that's setting up a match between those two, but the American audience just didn't see it.
All right. Th- isn't he supposed to be
Uh,
feuding with Vikingo and the Luchadors?
I thought so. I guess they're gonna have a random match on
Uh,
Raw at some point. Gotta love it.
well, there you have it. He tells Sammy, he says, all this, Sammy, and you could have just went to SmackDown and got a WWE Championship match, but you just had to do it your way. Sammy says, whatever, man. And he walks away, and Cross says, Sammy! And Sammy turns around and he says, you know you're never gonna win the championship, win the world championship, right? Sammy walks up to him, he puts his finger in his face, he says, I will deal with you later. And he walks away. Fucking Cross, bro. Use the guy.
Yeah, please, please fucking use that guy.
Cadence, delivery, aura, presence, it's all on point.
He's got it. He's got it all, dude. Please fucking use him.
Yep. Yep. Cross, um, yeah, again, has one of the biggest pops of the night, and he is hardly showcased. Put this guy in the final men's qualifier for Raw. Please.
They need to.
Speaking of qualifiers, we got the main event here tonight. Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in the main event of Monday Night Raw here tonight. Sami Zayn damn near won the match. It was a very good match. Sami Zayn damn near won the match. He hit a haluva kick on Seth Rollins for the 1, 2, and what would have been 3, but Braun Breaker pulls him out of the ring, and him and Bronson Reed start attacking Sami. But Jay told Sami earlier in the night, if they try any funny business, I got your back. So I love how Jay just mentioned nothing about John Cena, Logan Paul, and Cody Rhodes.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
No fucking follow up from that shit. No,
Nothing.
we didn't see Logan tonight.
Nope.
No Logan Paul tonight. Jey Uso didn't mention the shit at all. I think Cena's gonna be on SmackDown this week. I believe so.
I think
Wasn't he
might be
announced
right.
last week that he was?
Yeah,
So
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
he'll be
you're right.
on. So I'm pretty sure he'll be talking about it this week, but no one on Raw mentioned any of that besides the graphic they showed like twice.
Yep.
So it's just great.
So we got Jey Uso coming out for the save. He tries to fight off Bronson and Braun, and in the middle of doing that, Seth grabs him. Seth grabs his head, and Jay punches Seth in the face, and as soon as he turns around, he gets speared by Braun Breaker. Dominic Mysterio finally comes in to help his boy Finn Balor. Not to mention Sammy got speared on the outside, so he was out at this point as well. He finally comes out to support his boy Finn Balor, and he slides Finn a chair. He slides him a chair, and Finn goes to crawl for the chair, and right as his head is hovering over the chair, he gets stomped right on the chair by Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins walks away with the victory, adding himself to the field of Rollins, Penta, Knight, and Sikoa. So Rollins is added to this field, as immediately after he wins, we hear the theme song of CM Punk. As commentary's freaking out, they're saying, we heard Punk wasn't here tonight. And Braun and Bronson go to run up the ramp to meet Punk, and he comes out from the crowd, gives Seth a GTS, and runs off into the crowd before Rollins and Reed, or before Breaker and Reed can get their hands on him. So that was your ending to Monday Night Raw, man. So Seth Rollins is added to the field for Money in the Bank. So like I said, we have Rollins, Knight, Sikoa, and Penta in the match.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, with the competitors in the match, who do you see them adding, and who would you have win with just the current field we have now out of these names?
Well, who they could add, I think Cross is an obvious one. I would really hope they add him. As for another person, you got so many people on your rosters. Cross would be Raw, so you'd want another SmackDown. Who on SmackDown hasn't had a who on SmackDown hasn't even got a shot yet to get into this match?
Well, from what we know, Jacob is in the qualifying match. I don't know who else they're going to put in that, but
I would assume Jacob wins that match, so I would assume adding Jacob and Cross. And as for the winner, with the people we have right now, discounting those two because they're not in the match yet, they're just possible. So far in this match, with the people in it, I think it's either going to be Seth or LA Knight. I think those are the two most likely. I could see Seth because they're gonna do a lot of this stuff on Raw. It's gonna be around Jey Uso a lot. That's probably who they want to, defeat Jey Uso. Like it's like you said, it's the most cash-inable reign ever. So I really could see, Seth winning it and then waiting maybe a little bit, then cashing it on Jay, or maybe doing it that next night during that Gunther match. However they may do it, that I really wouldn't be shocked. But also, there was so many Roman references tonight from that group. I really wouldn't be shocked if Roman returns at that pay-per-view to screw Seth over in that match.
Yeah.
Um, my most likely to me, man, is still LA Knight. I don't see him cashing in on a J, which misaligns a lot of things because that's the key. I don't think he's gonna cash in on Cena anytime soon. Um, but he's the only one I keep thinking of to win it would be LA Knight so far, man. But what about you?
Yeah, I think in terms of the other two names you could add, my number one pick would be Karrion Cross for the Monday Night Raw side. For the SmackDown side, I think it's a very obvious Jacob Fatu victory. So when it's all said and done, I don't know if they'll actually do Cross. I would just really like to see him because the guy's ridiculously over. So in
Hmm.
the end, I see your field being Rollins, Cross, Jacob, Penta, Solo, and LA Knight. But if you're looking at just the four we have confirmed right now, I would think my favorites to win the match are probably Rollins and LA Knight, but then again, like you mentioned with Roman, there was a lot of Roman references, and I thought Rollins' group would be in some sort of six-man tag that Roman would,
It
come
would.
back and interject himself in. But with Rollins being in the Money in the Bank ladder match, I can very well see Roman screwing him out of that, which means your front runners right now, at least for the people who are in the match, I would probably say is LA Knight.
Hmm.
Karrion Cross gives me vibes if they end up putting him in the match. I don't think they would do Fatu yet. I
No.
don't think that he would win a Money in the Bank yet. But if you do put Karrion Cross in the match, I would love to see him do it. But that just gives me vibes of LA Knight. I think that would just be a case of WWE just for one reason or another, just not having the balls to do it for, again, quite literally no reason. But as of right
Hmm.
now, I would probably say Rollins or LA Knight, probably leaning more towards LA Knight because I can't envision Roman coming back and screwing him out of that ladder match. Um, to kind of prolong their feud and also kind of save his cousin's title reign, I guess. But
Yeah.
but yeah, those are kind of my front runners, I would say right now to win Money in the Bank. So yeah, I mean that's probably what I would go with. But yeah, Rollins gets his spot in the match as yeah, that brings us to a field of four. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. That's kind of where my headspace is at right now. But yeah, man. I mean,
I think so.
that is pretty much everything, bro. That's pretty much everything for today. So that was Monday Night Raw. Decent little episode, like
Hmm.
I said. It was better than the last 2 weeks. Nothing too crazy though. I can say that, but like I said, better than the last 2 weeks for sure. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically everything, man. That is basically everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that,
Very, very good.
oh,
Hmm.
sorry, what were you gonna say?
Very good wrestling tonight. And other than the matches, it was pretty a normal formulaic Raw, but we had good matches tonight. Like you said earlier, it definitely felt like that they watched Double or Nothing and were like, well, we got to show out. We got to show them we're not just fucking cinema 24/7. So they showed a little bit out in the ring tonight. I'll give them that.
Definitely, definitely, yeah. A lot of good in ring quality tonight for sure. And yeah. So with that, that is gonna do it for this edition of NHP Unscripted. This has been episode 249 of Unscripted, man. And with that being said, that is gonna do it for this edition of Unscripted. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this episode of Unscripted. And with that being said, With that being said, man, it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of Unscripted. Once again, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. Thank you guys, everybody who came out, man. Logan, Hunter, OG, Todd, thank you guys so very much for joining us. And my guys, a part of the Replay Mafia, JT and JB. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us. And with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all on Friday at 3 p.m. Central with the news.
Peace.